Wait for it. 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 Hello. Hello. Sorry I'm late. I had something come up last minute, of course. But I'm here. If not a couple minutes to 30 minutes late. Hello, Hollow. Hollow, I'm sorry that you were waiting for the last Ace Attorney stream. And I forgot to post about... I'm sorry. And last week was kind of crazy. But we are back. Hello, Random. How's it going? Welcome in. Guys, okay, I don't know. Doesn't my model look way smoother than normal? I think I was operating it at 30 FPS before. And this is 60. It looks way better, right? And this is actually just by chance. It was only by chance because what happened was I moved all of my stuff off my desktop. My desktop was just like crowded with like hundreds and hundreds of icons. And I moved them all to a folder. And when I moved it all to a folder, I guess it changed the path in OBS and everything went away. So I had to like redo everything. And in redoing everything, I made my model look a lot smoother. I'll forgive you for, $30. I'll see what I can do. In 10 years, you think I got 30 bucks to spare? You think wrong. Silent Hill F for Wednesday put me out 70, gave us $70. That's like the price of a game now. Is $70, that's a lot of money. $70 for a game. It seems like a great game though. It was one of those where when everyone was streaming it, I didn't let myself watch because I wanted to play it. I feel like your mic is quieter. You think so? I honestly could be just not sitting close enough to it. Hang on. Is this better? This is probably a little better. You're also probably see, oh, that's the thing. You're usually here for the Overwatch streams when I'm hunched over in gamer posture. Like 2 inches from my monitor. So I'm really close to my mic. You are a bit quiet. Am I really? Okay. Let's do this then. Let's do... Is this better? This should be a little better. I didn't change anything on the mic, but I guess I could have changed my settings. Sounds good. Okay, cool. I will BRB. I'm going to get a Coke and a water, and then we will be good to go. Okay. Ugh. Guys, I feel like I'm on a roll lately. In life. I feel very productive lately. Like at work and for stuff like this. And even just like my hobbies. I'm on a roll. Time for my favorite case. I heard you mention me last Ace Attorney stream. I did. I remember that this was your favorite case. This is apparently an absolute giga banger. Now, we did finish the last case, and I believe towards the end of that one, I did give a little snippet into what this one is. And it looks like we're starting out as Mia Fey. Playing as Mia Fey, our mentor. Dude, so... Random, since you weren't here for the first one, the very first case of this game, you also play as Mia, and it does hint that that's where this game was going to close out, and so now we're at the tail end of that. We were playing as Mia as a flashback before, and obviously this is another flashback, but I got to imagine at some point we're coming in as Phoenix Wright, too. Oh, I'm so nervous. I feel like I'm going to die. I never should have accepted this case. He is one scary looking. He looks kind of familiar. Does he look Did we see him in the first case at all? Is that why he looks familiar? This is a long one. Oh, it is? Okay, then we might have to work in some back-to-backs. I put my Coke in the freezer, and I forgot to take it out, and it's kind of like a slushy. It's like a slushy Coke. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Good morning. Don't be so jumpy, Mia. I didn't do nothing. I swear, I didn't kill nobody. Terry Falls, my first client. Sentenced to death 5 years ago and now a prison escapee. I don't think so. Maybe he was mentioned. It is Mia's first case ever. This is her first. I think, was Phoenix her second case? This was the first case that made her, like, quit for a while being an attorney. Just relax, Mia. Make small talk and try to relax him. So why did you escape? Why'd you escape anyway? Oh, he's chewing on the old ball and chain, huh? I'm sorry. I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lie. I didn't escape from nowhere. But Mr. Falls, the police just recaptured you 2 days ago. Ugh. Sorry, I told a little lie, just a small little fib. The memories, how long has it been since you played this? Do you remember? Oh boy. But anyway, I didn't do it. I never killed anyone. Sorry for asking, but you're on death row, right? Oh, he is not. He doesn't seem very confident, and Mia doesn't seem very confident. I don't know about this. I'm really sorry. They sentenced me to die 5 years ago, but I was tricked, I tell ya. That woman, she lied in her testimony. That's why I got the death penalty. I swear it. I didn't kill her. I could never do that. Interesting. 2 days ago, he escaped from the police wagon when it crashed. Then about 8 hours later, a policewoman was murdered before the police could recapture him. I played the OG trilogy back in 2019, but I'm sure I've revisited parts of this case every few years. I got you. But in full, it's been a while. The police believe that Terry Falls did it. After you escaped, did you meet a policewoman? Yeah, I did. She's the reason I escaped. So that much is true. He did meet with the victim. But I didn't kill her. She was alive when I left. She was alive. It's true. Okay. You know, the more you keep saying it, the more I'm inclined to doubt you. I can trust him, right? I mean, I should. Ha! Wait. Is this Godot? Hang on. This might be Godot. He's wearing the same vest. Unmasked. Okay, theory time. I'm going to throw my theory out there. Don't tell me if I'm right or wrong, because Godot knows Phoenix, right? And I think that Godot knows Phoenix, right? Because he went up against Mia. And this case made Mia quit being an attorney, and it also made Godot quit being an attorney, but then for some reason he became a prosecutor again with the mask on. That is my theory. You're not going to figure out the truth by just staring at the guy. Why are you here? I came to see how our little kitten was doing all alone in the big scary lion's den. I thought maybe you'd like someone to play with. Wait, is this guy a defense attorney? There might be some clues from the first case of this game if you can remember. I can, like, sort of remember. Sort of. Ha! That old man's probably still in bed. I bet he's clutching an empty bottle and mumbling in his sleep. Aren't I good enough? After all, it's me, Diego Armando. Okay, so it's not Godot. It looks an awful lot like Godot. But this guy's a defense attorney. Huh? Maybe he switched paths. I didn't say. So, Diego Armando, the finest attorney at Grossberg Law Offices, is here for me? No. You've got it all wrong. Today, you're the finest. After all, it took an amazing amount of guts to take this case. Imagine. An escaped death row convict for a first client. Yeah, not ideal. Not the easiest one. Evil twin brother, maybe. Thanks. I sure wish I could get out of it, though. Ha, relax. I just heard some good news. The prosecutor for today is fresh out of his diapers as well. Really? However, unlike a certain somebody who I won't mention, he's earned the reputation as a genius since beginning his law career. Genius? I wonder. How many years ago was this? Let's see. Was this about 5 years ago? 7 years ago? Could it be Edgeworth? Well, it's about time to head in, kitten. Sharpen those claws of yours. It's go time. Is he biting his lip? I think he was biting his lip. A solitary confinement cell for the condemned must be the world's loneliest place. And that's what my client ran away from. Every other lawyer gave up on him, but not me. When I saw those overflowing eyes and heard that simple, childlike voice, I just had the feeling that he was telling the truth. Why you talk like that? If this guy is Godot, I have a lot of questions. I have a lot of questions. February 16th, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 4, and that is Godot. He's holding a cup of coffee, and it is Miles on the other side. Ooh, this is interesting. Who the heck is this guy? Wait a second. Time out. Who the heck is this guy? This isn't the same judge. No, this is the guy who was presiding over... Oh my gosh, not Mask Damask. Yeah, Mask Damask's case. When he was getting, oh shoot, what was the guy's name? Luke Atme. Was this the guy who was going over Luke Atme's case? It's about time. The Canadian judge, yes. It's about time we get another guy up there. Hopefully this one's a little nicer. Court is now in session for the trial of Terry Falls. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth looks like a sharp young lad here, doesn't he? He honestly, here he looks like he kind of looks like a Fire Emblem character. That's what he's giving, Fire Emblem. Bratworth, that's so funny. They did a good job at making him look young. Canadian? I think that's what they call him. They call him the Canadian judge. I understand the lawyers for both sides are newcomers. Yes, Your Honor. I'm Mia Fey. Miles Edgeworth, Your Honor. So you're the new prosecutor everyone's talking about, eh? Wait, they say you joined the prosecutor's office at quite an early age. At 20, Your Honor. Oh, this guy's definitely Godot. Okay, so the question is, why does he have the mask on, and why did he switch to being a prosecuting attorney? If you're new to the Ace Attorney streams, this guy here, unless I'm off the mark somehow, is the prosecutor that we've been battling all game, except he's on the defense side this time. Very interesting. I guess our little kitten hasn't earned herself much of a reputation yet, huh? Come on, Mia. You can't lose, not to someone younger than you. Young people running a trial. I'm not too sure how I feel about that. Now then, the defendant in this case is currently a felon on death row. 2 days ago, he escaped from a police wagon. Is that correct? Precisely. But the defendant is not on trial for escaping prison. On the day that the defendant escaped, a policewoman was murdered. So we're here to determine if Mr. Falls was responsible for her death. You got it, kitten. This guy thinks he's smooth, doesn't he? I hate the way he talks. Me too, he doesn't talk this way as a prosecutor. What happened? I gotta know. feel like they told us some reasoning in the first case. Wait, really? And I missed it? I guess I wasn't looking for it at the time. I don't like Diego's energy much either, but he's at least an interesting character. Is it not? I have so many questions. I have so many questions. I'm sure we'll get to the bottom of them. Well then, Mr. Edgeworth, let's hear your opening statement. Yes, Your Honor. It was 5 years ago. The defendant, Terry Falls, was sentenced to death in this very court. His crimes were kidnapping, extortion, and murder. The girl he threw off the bridge was only 14 years old. He's a little baby. He's a little baby, Edgeworth. A truly horrible crime. I remember it well. There was no decisive evidence, so the trial was long and protracted. Correct. But in the end, what finally decided the case was a certain witness's testimony. A witness's testimony? Who? The testimony of Detective Valerie Hawthorne, the person who confronted this criminal. She arrested Mr. Falls at the scene and later testified against him. She said she witnessed Mr. Falls throw his young victim into the river. For those who aren't aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered. So Ms. Hawthorne's testimony was the one that put him away. That policewoman you mentioned, that wouldn't be... Exactly. The victim. The same woman that was killed 2 days ago. Police Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne. Oh, I see where the motive comes in now. Feeney and Bratworth are so funny. I want to see these two interact. I want to see young Phoenix and young Edgeworth interact so bad. Ah, I see. The man who was sentenced to death based on her testimony escaped 2 days ago with only one thing on his mind: to take revenge against the woman who convicted him. The truth is becoming clear to me now. He looks a lot happier than the other judge. He looks very interested in the case. I don't know if I like how he's staring at me, but at least it looks like he's listening. Yes. It's quite obvious that the defendant... Now, hold on a second. Okay, maybe he wasn't listening, or maybe he was listening too well. Objection! Wait a minute. That's not right. At least hear the case before you decide on the outcome, Your Honor. Watch yourself, Miss Fay. I'm not sure I care for your word choice or your tone of voice. Okay, so every judge in this court system is the worst. They're all equally egotistical. Perhaps he's too into it, maybe. Or he's not into it enough and he just wants to get on with his day. He's like, you know what? Yeah, he's guilty. Yeah, get him out of here. I got better stuff to do. Young people these days simply don't know how to respect their elders. Why, you're even younger than me, you hypocrite. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, please call your first witness. I call the detective who is in charge of the initial investigation of this case. Oh, Gumshoe! Hey, he looks the same, though. They hate defense attorneys, clearly. Clearly. Witness, state your name and occupation. Gumshoe. Dick Gumshoe. I'm the homicide detective in charge of the case, sir. I finally got promoted to the detective division half a year ago. Give it up for Gumshoe, everybody! Younger Gumshoe, he's got the exact same mannerisms. He hasn't changed a bit. I don't believe anyone asked you about that. Sorry, Gumshoe. I care. For what it's worth, I care. Hey, ma'am. You got any ideas how much work it takes? What is it? You're really gorgeous. Oh, Gumshoe. Gumshoe, get it together, bro. Now is not the time. Excuse me? No, seriously. My heart, it's aching for you. Pull yourself together, man. Come on. That's so funny. I had no idea that Gumshoe had the hots for Mia. I thought he was only into Maggie Bird. Detective, pull yourself together and try to be professional. Otherwise, I'll write you up on contempt so quick that something other than your heart will ache. Okay, I got it. Sorry, Gumshoe. Now, Detective, tell us about the incident. Yes, sir. Right away. The victim was Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, a veteran on the police force. She was stabbed in the back with a knife and died from excessive blood loss. That much is already stated in the autopsy report. The court would like to hear more details about the incident itself. Yes, sir. I gotcha. First, let's take a look at this aerial map of the area here. Oh, there's a lot to look at here. Okay. This is a sketch of Dusky Bridge, an old suspension bridge. And the river that runs under there is Eagle River. The victim and the defendant met there, on top of the bridge. Victim here. Wait. Is this supposed to be victim and killer? Okay, I was like, Valerie and who? No, victim, killer. Victor on the right, killer on the left. Killer closer to the car. After stabbing her in the back, the killer carried the victim back to his car. He was recaptured at a police checkpoint as he was trying to make his getaway, sir. Oh, so they like found him. That's a toughie. Dusky Bridge map added to the court record. Did they actually find her in his trunk? That's tough. That wouldn't be the first time that we found a body in the trunk of someone who was innocent, but it's odd that it happened twice. Was the victim's blood found on the bridge? The victim, Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, was wearing a thick coat, sir. Unfortunately, no traces of blood were found on the bridge. I'm going to get so confused. Oh no, if Hollow's confused, well, I'm certainly going to be confused. Mr. Edgeworth, I warn you that I absolutely despise conjecture. If there was no blood on the bridge, then you have no proof that they even met there. Your Honor. You know, his cocky mannerisms look just a little bit less intimidating when he's got this baby face. He's still intimidating, but just like a fraction less so. If you would listen to the testimony we have prepared, I'm sure you'll be convinced. The two of them most certainly did meet on the bridge that day. Why, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm not sure I like you wagging your finger at me as though I were some hoser. Detective, proceed with your testimony. Yes, sir. He is a brat. At least Edgeworth in the modern day earned it on prestige. This guy's just cocky. Okay, now, listen carefully, kitten. One little mistake and this guy will drink you for morning tea. Trust me and get ready. Why is he looking at me like that, bro? Why is he shooting me those eyes? Summary of the incident. On the day of the incident, an unknown person phoned the sergeant and asked to meet. Sergeant Hawthorne went to Dusky Bridge at the designated time and met with Mr. Falls. And that's where she was brutally murdered, sir. The criminal stuffed her body into his car trunk and tried to make a getaway. Mr. Falls was arrested at a police checkpoint we set up at the base of the mountain. That's tough, because it doesn't leave a whole lot of time for anything else to happen. Well, you certainly have established the importance of the bridge. Naturally. Now, would the defense please hurry up? Excuse me. Would the defense please hurry up and proceed with the cross-examination? Yes, Your Honor. Cross-examination. Coming right up. Hey, settle down there, kitten. If you keep trembling like that, you're gonna make me spill my coffee. Quit looking at me like that, bro. I'm not trembling. It's just cold in here. The courtroom can be a cold battlefield, all right, especially for a beginner. I don't need you to worry about me. I mean, the defendant, the witness, everyone's a beginner in here. Ha, you got me there. But maybe you should keep your claws out and show them what you've got. Getting. It's okay, Mia. Stay calm. Just remember those court procedure videos you stayed up all last night watching. Here we go. Cross-examination. On the day of the incident, an unknown person phoned the sergeant and asked him... Hold it! This unknown person, you have no idea who it might be, right? Sorry, but I'm afraid I do. What? The one who called Sergeant Hawthorne was the defendant, Terry Falls. What? The defendant called her? Sergeant Hawthorne was a very thorough person, sir. She left a note about her phone call with Mr. Falls. A note? Yeah, top secret memo that she left in her desk. Victim's note added to the court record, confidential police materials written by the victim. According to this note, it seems the one who called her to the bridge was indeed the defendant, Terry Falls. That's tough. It's not looking good for you, Terry. Whose bright idea was it to keep that note from me? Ha! Looks like the judge is even more sure of his verdict now. Listen up. Never ask a question if you don't already know the answer. It's that detective's fault. He's the one that said unknown person. Hey now, don't make that face at me. I just said it that way because the prosecutor told me to. Edgeworth, you're even as slimy and thorough back in the day, huh? Was that a trap? With that cute face, I didn't expect him to be so sneaky. Can we read this letter? Yes, we can. February 14th. Oh, it's Valentine's Day. Falls, 4:30 p.m. at that bridge. Wear white scarf for identification. Talk to Dahlia. Dahlia! Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. Wait. Okay. This is written by the victim. So this is written by Hawthorne. Talk to Dahlia. Dahlia was Phoenix's girlfriend from the first case, right? Dahlia, yes! Oh, he was closer to Manfred von Karma then. You're right. Oh my gosh, it's hard to picture babyface Edgeworth working with von Karma. They are polar opposites in aesthetic. Oh, what is Dahlia doing here? Hang on. Sergeant Hawthorne went to Dusky Bridge at the designated time and met with Mr. Falls. A bridge up in the mountains. But why meet there? Because it's a very important place to the defendant. That's why. What do you mean by that? If you remember, 5 years ago, the defendant kidnapped a young girl. He was chased onto a bridge, and it was there that he killed his hostage. And the place where all of this occurred is, of course, Dusky Bridge. The very place where Sergeant Hawthorne arrested and handcuffed Mr. Falls. Returning to the scene of the crime. How nostalgic. Francisco's like 13 right now. You're right. Wait a second. The finger wag. Wasn't the finger wag von Karma's? Manfred von Karma's like one of his signature things? Or was that Edgeworth's? I feel like I definitely remember von Karma doing that. Edgeworth didn't have his own flow yet. He had to copy his. That's Manfred's thing. Oh, I was right. Okay. That's a nice little attention to detail. And that's where she was brutally murdered, sir. Was the body of the victim discovered right away? Yeah, we were really on the ball. We found the criminal within 1 hour of the murder. It was great. We even got to say, "Don't move, we've got you surrounded." Wait a second. Isn't there something weird about that? The location was a suspension bridge up in the mountains. So how did they find out about the crime so quickly? Sergeant Hawthorne must have mentioned the phone call to someone else, right? Huh. If that's what had happened, then she wouldn't have been killed. She never mentioned the phone call from Mr. Falls, but she left a note on her desk about it. If only I had noticed it earlier, maybe she'd still be alive. I wonder why she didn't mention the phone call to anyone. I wonder why she's also talking with Dahlia. I have a lot of questions. There's even more parallels if you pay close attention. Really? Okay, I'm going to keep an eye out. The only one I noticed was the finger wag one. The criminal stuffed her body into his trunk and tried to make a getaway. Mr. Falls had a car then. Well, that bridge is way up in the mountains, ma'am. The defendant and the victim both went up there by car. I mean, how else, right? You mean the defendant drove his own car? No, of course not. It was stolen. He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light. Car thieves. I'm not sure how I feel about car thieves. You're not? Is this guy sure about how he feels about anything? I feel like that one's pretty clear cut, Your Honor. We just don't like him. This is a photo of the stolen car's trunk. Naturally, that's the body of Valerie Hawthorne in there. That doesn't look too comfortable. It also doesn't look too good for our sake, does it? Crime photo added to the court record, a photo of the trunk of Fall's car. The victim, she was stabbed in the back, correct? Yeah. Ha! For some reason, men always seem to get stabbed in the back. We're talking about a woman here. You can't tell from this photo, but the knife was stuck in her back nice and firm. The condition of the body when it was discovered is very important information. Detective, was there anything strange or noteworthy in the trunk of the car? Here's a photo of the trunk, but I don't see anything strange, do you? Anyway, Mr. Falls was arrested at a police checkpoint we set up at the base of the mountain. We're coming back to that last point of dialogue. I do think there's something there. I mean, it's pretty obvious there's something there, right? That certainly is some impressive police work. Well, no, actually, it was way too close for comfort. We set up that checkpoint just after 5 p.m. Does it say what time they died yet? No. Oh, yes, it does. Between 4 and 5 p.m. We figured that Mr. Falls might just try to run. What do you mean it was too close for comfort? The two of them arranged to meet at 4:30 p.m., and it takes approximately 30 minutes to go from the bridge to the checkpoint. That was kind of close. Any later, and Mr. Falls could have slipped right by. Listen up, kitten. There's a big trap waiting for you in that testimony. The trap? Walk into it carelessly, and it'll leave more than just a flesh wound. Fun, huh? Yeah. Sounds like a grand old time. No, it's not. Well, if you want to have any chance at all, you'd better get some more information. And if you're going to get caught in a trap, it's best to get caught early. You can always look for contradictions afterwards. The ever-famous contradictions. I sure hope I can find some of those. Well, I do have one more that I want to go back to. Here's a photo of the trunk, but I don't see anything strange. Do you? Hold it! What did the defendant have to say about this photo? What he always says, ma'am. I didn't do it. I didn't do nothing. That's all he says. Nothing? I wouldn't say he did nothing. At the very least, we know he stole a car. It's just what he always says, Your Honor. And then he always says, sorry. I told a little lie. I've heard that one before. There's at least one thing that looks off. Let's see. In any case, it seems he was caught and arrested. Precisely. One thing that looks off. Can I get this piece of text out of here? Oh, wait. Okay, hang on. Stabbed with a knife in the back. Died from blood loss. Well, there's no blood in the trunk. That I can see, anyway. I wish I had this photo without the text there. I don't think it matters. Wait, wear white scarf for identification. And she's not wearing a white scarf, right? Oh, here we go. Perfect. This is written by the victim? Oh, this is written by the victim. So, Falls was the one who was supposed to wear the white scarf. So it's not that. What looks off about this photo? I mean, there's this. But I just assumed that they forced the trunk open. Confidential police materials written by the victim. And then this is the bridge. Still best to point things out. True that. True that. And tried to make a getaway. And that's where she was brutally murdered. Yeah. Now, do I just object to this, I think? Yeah? Maybe? I don't know how I can point this out. That's where she was. Okay, here. On the day of the incident, an unknown person phoned the sergeant, asked to meet. Sergeant Hawthorne went to Dusky Bridge at the designated time and met with Mr. Falls. And that's where she was brutally murdered. The criminal stuffed her body into his car trunk and tried to make a getaway. Here's a photo of the trunk, but I don't see anything strange. Do you? Anyway, Mr. Falls was arrested at a police checkpoint we set up at the base of the mountain. I don't see anything strange. Well, she died from blood loss. I don't see any blood. That would be the initial thing that I find strange. I also find this thing at the top here strange, but I'm gonna go with the blood. Would Falls really need to wear a white scarf? He's pretty identifiable. That's a good point. Written by the victim. Was this part written by Falls and this part written by the victim? Oh, I don't know. I'm going to object with the police report because I do think that there is a severe lack of blood in the trunk for someone who had died from blood loss. I know they said the coat sucked a lot of it up, but if that's the case, I don't see a lot of blood on the coat either. I don't think they loved that. This evidence establishes that the defendant is lying, right? Don't ask me to confirm your facts. Sorry, it's my first time handling a case. Well, let's make it a memorable occasion. With a penalty. Rude. And here I thought he would go easy on me because I'm new. Okay, here's a photo of the trunk. You don't see anything strange, do you? I mean, I do. I guess I'll try and object with this then. Maybe this part was written by Falls. Oh, she's right. Okay, I understand. She's not writing this to Falls. She is just jotting down what she's doing. I see. I don't know why I thought she was writing this note to Falls. No. I see now. I see. Witness. What is it? Do you have something to say, Miss Faye? I'm sorry. I totally forgot what I was going to say. Get it together, Mia. Come on. I named my stream Mia is so cool. You're supposed to be locked in. This is the first time I've ever had to actually address someone like that. You should have practiced before coming to court. Honestly, Miss Faye, I'm not sure I like this. Shocker. Say there, little kitten. Want a piece of my coffee candy? You know, I've had coffee candy. Not as good as you might think. It doesn't taste a whole lot like coffee. It's not bad, but it's not the best. When I worked my data analytics job and I was at my computer like all day, I would munch on coffee candies like crazy. She's only human, true. And when she's confident up there, she's so cool. I wouldn't say she's only human. I mean, now she's a ghost. She's a spirit. Well, you're still too young to be drinking real coffee. I don't think that's true. Dang it, I don't have her profile on here. I wanted to see how old she was. Oh, Gumshoe's 26 here. Diego's 27. Come on, Mia. Shake it off. You're a lawyer. Detective. Yes, ma'am. This photo. You said she's 23. Well, I think she could have a cup of coffee then if she wants one, Diego. You said that there was nothing peculiar about it. Is that correct? Yeah, that's what I said. Well, then, I suggest you take another look at the note written by the victim. The note? It very oh, here we go. Now she's getting into the cool Mia that we know. It very clearly says, wear white scarf for identification. The caller must have forgotten what the victim looked like. Thus, this special request. I have one very simple question for you, detective. Where's the white scarf? I can't seem to find it in this photo. Well, to be honest, we didn't find it in the trunk, ma'am. Well, hang on, Gumshoe. And you stopped there? You should have looked for it. Duh. Yeah. That's quite the miss there. The caller told her to wear it to identify herself, so I expect she did just that. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do you have to say about this? Unfazed as always. I see the defense is a little lacking. The scarf you're searching so desperately for. Is it this one, perchance? Where'd you find that, sir? On Dusky Bridge. I was there first and decided to conduct my own investigation. Why didn't you tell me? I made a decision to keep all pieces of evidence in my personal satchel. It's the safest place I know. That hotshot sure has a flair for the dramatic. It's not, I was going to say, this is not a white scarf. This is definitely powder blue. It's not exactly white, as the caller requested, but as you can see, it's close enough for what it was intended for. It looks like it spent some time in the mud. Not surprising. It was drizzling on the mountain that day. Prosecutor Edgeworth, he was intentionally hiding that scarf the whole time. Oh, trust me, Mia, you have no idea what this guy's capable of. The court will now accept the scarf into evidence. Worn by the victim at the time of the incident found on Dusky Bridge. He's shady, that's what I'm saying. Now, if the attorney for the defense is finished embarrassing herself, I'd like to move on with the testimony. That is all right with you, isn't it, Ms. Faye? Boy, would I like to wrap this scarf around his smarmy little neck. Very good. Now, if we're done with this mud-covered scarf business, the prosecution moves to establish conclusively and with hard evidence that Ms. Hawthorne and Mr. Falls did indeed meet on that bridge that day. Further, we will show exactly what occurred there. That sounds quite promising. I can't wait to hear all about it. Everything is moving at his whim. Don't forget, kitten, there's a real reason why everyone considers this kid a genius. A genius, huh? I can't get over the fact that this Diego guy is a defense attorney. If he's also Godot. I don't know. Maybe they're just related. Events on Dusky Bridge. Actually, there's an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness. It shows the it shows the Vic wearing the scarf, sir. It was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see what's going on. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Could I see that photo again? Not yet. That must have been when the scarf fell off. Taken from where is right? Oh, taken from here? Maybe? I don't know what this is, what this 5 yards is, but I'm guessing that it was taken. It kind of looked like this angle. Who would take it? Looking at this photo, here we go. You really get the sense that this bridge is very high up. Wow. Insightful as always, Your Honor. It's about a 40-foot drop from the bridge to the Eagle River down below. Mr. Edgeworth, who took this photo anyway? Hey, I just asked the same question, man. Let's just say that it was a well-intentioned third party. Aha! A potential witness. So why isn't this person in the courtroom? Well, they said they absolutely did not want to testify. Is it Dahlia? Wait, wasn't her name... Was her name Dahlia Hawthorne? I can't remember. Was her name Dahlia Hawthorne? Oh, 5 yards is for scale. Okay, I got you. I can't remember if that was her name. The person in question is very delicate, Your Honor. Besides, as long as we have this photo, we see no reason to compel them to testify. No comment. Dude, wait! Okay, so maybe they were sisters or related somehow and Dahlia wanted her dead for some reason? I'm not sure how I feel about that. Okay, man, whatever you say. I can see why this guy's not on the real big trials like we are. Witness's photo added to the court record seems to have been taken by an eyewitness. So as you can see, Terry Falls had both the motive and the opportunity. I think it's quite clear at this point what happened on that bridge. Ah! The truth is becoming clear to me now. Uh-huh. Yes, it's quite obvious. He's clearly guilty. Not again. That's not fair. I haven't even done my cross-examination yet. What do you mean? Alright. Hang on. I got a couple things that I want to look at before we even do this. I want to see... Warned by the victim at the time of the incident, found on Dusky Bridge. And then this seems to have been taken by the witness. Okay. Actually, there's an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. Who is this eyewitness? She's a college student. A female college student. That's right. Meaning she's female and a college student, man. Inside, man, we have the biggest brains on this case, don't we? This is on the level of, that means it wasn't Christmas. She doesn't do well in front of other people, so I came to testify for her. Maybe so, but as the attorney for the defense, I have the right to cross-examine her. Objection! For the time being, we're not relying on the witness's statements. That is all. What's that supposed to mean? The prosecution has other, more decisive evidence. Our case doesn't rest on the vague testimony of a female college student. A female college student, eh? It means she's female and a college student, sir. Thanks, Gumshoe. If you absolutely must hear her testify, you'll have to give us a good reason why. Please tell us about the more decisive evidence in question. This photo was accidentally taken by the way. Accidentally? It shows the Vic wearing the scarf, sir. Hold it! The victim is wearing a scarf in that photo, all right. So, about the witness who took this photo. What was this person doing all the way in the mountains? She was taking photos of wildflowers, apparently. There are many unusual types of flora on that mountain, Ms. Faye. People in the area say it's because of the spirits that live there. Spirits? Now that you mention it, this photo, this cloudy fog-like thing, is it a ghost? This guy's useless. Oh my God. I thought the other judge was bad. At least this guy seems to be a little nicer, but oh my gosh, you gotta spell it out for him. I don't believe it. No, Your Honor, no, I don't think it's a ghost. Although if you do want to see a ghost, Your Honor, I might know a guy. Or a gal. Or three gals. It was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see what's going on. Drizzling, huh? That's right. There was a light rain coming down. The whole place was dreary. But not as dreary as the mood that's in this courtroom right now. Awkward. Awkward, am I right, guys? Looks like a cold front just moved in. Sorry, Gumshoe, I don't think that one landed, brother. In any case, the point is that the area was quite damp. There was even some fog. I even slipped and fell while I was on the bridge. It was really something. Gumshoe, that's dangerous. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Are we sure? Are we sure? I mean, I'll press for the info, but then we're coming back. Is that part of the witness's testimony as well? Of course it is. He pushed the victim hard in the back and she fell down right on her stomach. I remember that happening once myself. It was really brutal. Are you talking about seeing someone get pushed, or were you the one getting pushed? Yeah, or does it mean that someone pushed, or you pushed someone down? I don't know. With his mind-boggling tales and the way he said brutal, I wonder if he's Canadian. Aha, so it's not just something the fans made up. He's actually Canadian. Ha! Save your nasty look for the right person. Huh? Take a look. Poor baby. The court record seems to have wet itself. Ew? Watch where you spill your coffee. The court record, huh? That must have been when the scarf fell off. The court record. Witness's photo. I just thought it was because he said A. Same, but A. They called it out. They called it out. I don't know. Sometimes when I'm playing online video games, people ask if I'm Canadian. And I don't think I sound Canadian, but I've gotten it like more than 3 times, which is weird. I swear if he says roundabout at some point, he's going roundabout on the bridge. So the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. I mean, it's possible if he's like, excuse me here, ma'am, let me get behind you real quick. But I don't know about all that. They're not What? Wait, that's not good enough? I'm sorry, but I think the only thing out of place here is that pointer finger of yours. I don't think you sound Canadian. I mean, I don't either. I don't know where they're getting it from. Maybe try other pieces of evidence. I guess so. I thought that was it for sure. Shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Stabbed with a knife in the back. Oh, well, he also couldn't have stabbed her from behind, right? Because the killer was here, the victim's here, and the bridge is broke on this side. Can you see that in the photo? You can't really. Now why is Valerie Hawthorne going out in the middle of this bridge with this man? And it's broken. I wouldn't get on a broken bridge. I guess to be fair, if he's threatening her, there's probably not much she can do. On the bridge, she's facing towards each other. I know. I don't know. Let's press this last bit of detail too. Because I would think that the photo would be enough for that, but I guess not. That must have been when the scarf fell off. So in other words, there was a struggle between the criminal and the victim, huh? That's what the witness said. Well, it looks like she didn't remember about the scarf. But from what she said, it sounded like a pretty violent fight, ma'am. The area was wet from rain. The bridge was probably wet too, which it would explain why the scarf was all covered in mud. But there's something about this testimony that's still bothering me. Talk about a surprise. I had no idea there was a photo. So what do I do? You really still believe him? Mr. Crybaby, I mean. Of course I do. So the little kitten believes in fairy tales, huh? In that case, the answer's obvious. If what you believe is the truth, then that means that somewhere hidden in that testimony is a contradiction. One huge contradiction waiting to be discovered. That's your chance. There's an eyewitness who, how would he push her back? Right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I agree. Unless he's like, please let me move to the side here, man. Okay, there's an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness. Accidentally. It shows the Vic is so funny. It shows the Vic wearing the scarf. It was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see what's going on. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. You know, I feel like this would also do the trick, not only because it appears that the bridge is broken here, but I also think that this shows that you can't really get around each other. He couldn't have stabbed or pushed her from behind. I'm gonna object with this. Dude, the baby case is whooping my butt. Although, to be fair, I don't know if this counts as the baby case. It's like the intro to the final case. Either he didn't push her, or maybe for some reason she turned her back. I don't remember. I don't know. Let's see. She could have turned her back, I guess. What if he hit her with the, look over there? What's that? Huh? All right, let's see. That must have been when the scarf fell off. The criminal shoved the victim down from behind. Okay. There was an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness. It shows the Vic wearing the scarf. Stabbed with a knife in the back. Died from blood loss between 4 and 5. The bridge. The police material. The crime photo. The scarf. Found on Dusky Bridge. And the witness's photo. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness. It shows him wearing, or shows her wearing the scarf. It was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see what's going on. I mean, I digress. I think it's pretty clear to see this photo. Where would he have had a knife? That's a really good question, too. That's a really good question. Does this thing have pockets? I mean, I guess he could be holding it here already. Right? Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. That must have been when the scarf fell off. Stabbed with a knife in the back. It doesn't say anything about her getting shoved down. 40 feet above Eagle River. Confidential police material. 4:30 at that bridge. Wear white scarf for identification. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. Trunk of the car. Worn by the victim at the time of the incident. Found on Dusky Bridge. Seems to have been taken by the way. They got in a scuffle as well, right? They said they had a... Oh, that's right. They did have a brutal fight. So maybe that's how he shoved her back? Maybe? Talk to Dahlia? I would love to get Dahlia up here, please. Something tells me Gumshoe's not remembering everything correctly. Okay. The criminal shoved the victim down from behind. How else? Okay. Stabbed with a knife in the back. This also might be what I want to present because it doesn't say anything about being shoved down. Maybe you're focusing on the wrong thing right now. I think I might be. Because I don't know what else I could present that would bring this up. Okay, so if it's not this, if it's not shoving them down from the back, that must have been when the scarf fell off. Maybe. There's an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness. Accidentally is crazy. It shows the victim wearing the scarf. That it does. It was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see what's going on. I feel like I've gotten the contradiction. Really? I mean, I thought I had... to be fair, I thought I had it. I did not. But I don't know if I have the evidence. I don't know. I'm going to save my game. I hate that I'm save scumming so early, but listen, you got to do what you got to do in the courtroom, right? It was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see what's going on. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. That must have been when the scarf fell off. I wish that this autopsy report said victim was wearing a scarf at the time of her death. Stabbed with a knife in the back. Died from blood loss. Bridge located 40 feet above Eagle River. Okay. Confidential police material. A photo of the trunk of Fall's car. Worn by the victim at the time of the incident. Found on Dusky Bridge. Seems to have been taken by the witness. I mean, my only other thing that I can think of off the top of my head, and this is being real nitpicky, it was drizzling that day. This looks like a downpour, right? This looks like a downpour. How is it muddy if it was found on the bridge? Also a really good question. I assume the bridge could be muddy. But a really good point. I don't think autopsy people care much about the fashion choices of the people they cut open and study. Well, maybe they should think about a young defense attorney who might need that information, huh? Huh? Maybe they should think about me every once in a while. Okay. Let's see what we got. There's an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. There's no point in us objecting to this. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness. It shows the victim wearing the scarf. I don't see any reason to object to this either. It was drizzling that day. It's a little hard to see what's going on. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. That must have been when the scarf fell off. I wish I could send you a hint without giving you a hint. Just keep going. You got this. Yeah, I certainly wasn't about to ask for one or anything. I'm confident, that's for sure. That must have been when the scarf fell off. Okay, I just have to do this for my own sake. It was drizzling that day. It's a little hard to see what's going on. This looks like a downpour, and it's not hard to see what's going on. I can see pretty clearly that this is what's going on. They're both standing on the bridge, and he might have a knife. I'm gonna do it, and I know it's not right. I know this isn't right. But for my own well-being, I have to. I trust the text more than the photos right now. Fair. I had to do it. I had to know. Okay. My brain goes too in-depth about every detail. No, sometimes that's good in this game, though. Sometimes you actually need to do that. Sometimes it'll bite you in the butt if you think too much. But there are times where you really do have to dig deep. When you get, later into the case. There's an eyewitness who's there. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness. It shows the victim wearing the scarf. Crazy that he says accidentally. It was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see what's going on. Agree to disagree there, Gumshoe. That's fine. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Hollow, and you said this was a long one. Did you mean the whole case or this portion? Because, man, this portion's taken me forever. I feel like I spotted 2 contradictions, but I'm not sure how to point them out. I just don't think they're relevant yet. That's what I'm saying. I wonder if I'm... This seems like a contradiction, but they don't like the evidence I give them. So maybe it's coming later. That must have been when the scarf fell off. I might take a page from Random's book here, though. Yeah, the scarf could get muddy on the bridge, but this looks like it dropped in, heavy dirt, right? We've got a lot to go on this part, too. Lock in, press. Lock in. We've got to figure this out. Found on Dusky Bridge. That must have been when the scarf fell off. Is there anything else I can do here? Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. The autopsy, I don't think, went. This didn't work. That bridge. Wear a white scarf for identification. The trunk. I'm probably more clueless than you. I wouldn't say trust me. I'm down for anything at this point. I just learned this case is its own separate from the 5th case. Wait, it is? How long is this one? I just figured this was included. Like, I figured it was one big case. Worn by the victim at the time of the incident, found on dusky... Okay. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. That must have been when the scarf fell off. "40 feet above Eagle River." Wait a second. If the scarf fell off after... I'm confused, Chester. No worries. I think this whole stream is confused right now, dude. Dave got me. Edgeworth has got me good, man. He's got me. Shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Can I present... Have I presented the map yet? Because I just don't see a world where he can do that. No, I think I did present that. I'm going to present this. Ugh. Darn you, judge. Okay. I'm gonna repress everything. I think it's just for the best. Who is this eyewitness? How does it get dirty? I know. I don't think you presented the map. Wait, really? Okay, I'll try that next. A female college student. Oh, we gotta do this again. Female and a college student. A female college student, eh? It means she's female and a college student. Okay. Let's present the map so I know I did it. Okay. Cool. This photo was accidentally taken. How do you accidentally take this photo? The victim is wearing a scarf in that photo, all right? So about the witness who took the photo. What was this person doing all the way in the mountains? She was taking photos of wildflowers. There are many unusual types of flora in the mountain. People in the area say it's because of the spirits that live there. Okay, that's pretty much a useless point of dialogue. Drizzling that day. Was that fail state text different than others? Wait. Was it? Drizzling, huh? I just assume if it doesn't cut the music that I'm wrong sometimes. Maybe that's the wrong way to do it. There was a light rain coming down. The whole place was dreary, but not as dreary as the mood in this court. The point is that the area was quite damp. There was even some fog. I even slipped and fell while I was on the bridge. It was really something. Sometimes they don't cut the music since players caught on. Dang it! They're smart for that. Well, okay. Why not? Your Honor, what do you think of the witness's statement? I don't think anything of it. How about you? I guess I don't think anything of it either. Then we don't have a problem, but we do have a penalty. Well, no good. The victim shoved the criminal down. Is that part of the witness testimony as well? Of course it is. He pushed the victim hard in the back, and she fell down right on her stomach. Wait. If she fell down... Okay, hang on. Stay with me now. If she fell down on her stomach, the scarf fell on the bridge, and it got all dirty. If she fell on her stomach, the coat should be dirty, right? The coat should be dirty. Okay. The coat should be dirty. The court record, huh? Yada, yada, yada. The criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. This is the one, right? Come on, Mia Fey. Let's go. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Come on. So at the time of the crime, there was a light drizzle coming down, correct? Yeah, and fog, too. Just a generally soggy atmosphere. Oh, she's so cool. Well, I have evidence that doesn't go with the soggy atmosphere. That wasn't what I thought at all. Can you tell me what you thought, or do you think it's going to come up? But this is a photo of the victim's body that was found in the car trunk. Considering the conditions at the scene of the crime, something isn't right. Well, by all means, please enlighten us as to what isn't right. Nah, it'll come up 100%. Okay, then we'll get there. This isn't what's right. Her coat looks awfully pristine. Take that. Naturally, the answer's right here. The victim's coat? As far as I can see, there's nothing strange about it. That's exactly what is strange. Recall the testimony. What were the conditions on the bridge that day? It was drizzling and foggy. Dusky bridge was all wet. If the victim really had fallen down on her stomach on top of the bridge, then the front of her coat should have been covered in mud. Got him. That's exactly right. Well, thank you, Your Honor. The other day, I fell on a muddy street and my gorgeous playoff beard was befouled. I do admit that the crime scene was quite wet that day. However, that doesn't mean that the top of the bridge itself was muddy. If Your Honor had fallen in the shower instead of on a muddy street, your glorious hockey beard, pride of the legal league, would be wet but not muddy. Fortunately, I've yet to test that. Still, your point... What is happening? Can you prove that the surface on the bridge was muddy that day? The surface of the bridge, huh? Gladly. A real man wouldn't stand for a taunt like this. Neither would a real woman. Of course I can. Here's the evidence that proves the surface of the bridge was muddy. The scarf that the victim was wearing. The evidence is this scarf. It should be obvious. If the scarf fell onto the bridge and got this muddy, it means that the bridge was obviously covered in mud. No, I can't be outwitted by this novice bimbo. Edgeworth, have some respect. Same to you, buddy. Ms. Faye's assertion makes perfect sense to me. Objection! Me being annoyed at the scarf technically did help. It kept it front of mind. I knew that was going to come into play. Good stuff. Good stuff, y'all. I can't believe how long it took us to get there, but we got there. I do admit that there appears to be a contradiction between the condition of the victim's coat and her scarf. However, the real question is, why is there a contradiction? For every contradiction, there exists an explanation. Let's look at what the explanation in this case may be, shall we? Alright, it's not like he's really giving me a choice here. Ha! You're doing pretty well for a little kitten. Mr. Armando, no matter what he says, a contradiction always comes down to a lie. It's either the victim discovered in the trunk, the witness's photo showing the defendant and the victim, or the witness's testimony that stated she saw the moment of the murder. Just relax and think it over. Pretty simple, isn't it? The false evidence? It's one of those three. Interesting. I think it's her testimony, and we have to get Dahlia in here right now. What you said just now, I'm not sure I like that. That wasn't me, Your Honor. It was the coffee aficionado over here that said it. This court is not in the habit of accepting false evidence, you know. Blame it on him, Your Honor. He's the one trying to slip false evidence into this court. What if it's all three? Honestly, it could be. But we won't let him. We'll expose his evidence as the flimsy scam it really is. The false evidence in this case is the witness's photo, the body in the trunk, or the witness's testimony. The reason I'm gonna go with the testimony is because the witness said that she saw him push him in the back, and it just doesn't make any sense. The photo, at least we have concrete proof, and we have a photo as well as of the body in the trunk. So this is at least the only thing we don't have concrete proof of is her testimony, because she's not here. Like, it's a no-brainer. Obviously, it's the witness that's suspicious. During his earlier testimony, the detective pointed out a crucial fact. The criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Now, is that testimony exactly what the witness claims to have seen? Yeah, that's what the witness told us. That testimony is filled with holes. After all, the victim's coat isn't dirty at all. That's true. It's not just true, it's the truth. If there was a truly decisive witness in this case, I'm certain that boy wonder over there would have called them in the first place. Your Honor, the defense requests to cross-examine the eyewitness. The testimony presented so far is not only vague, but contradictory as well. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, it appears that we'll need to hear from your mystery witness after all. You should brace yourself for the brutal truth. Your Honor, the prosecution has no intention of hiding the witness from the court. We are prepared to present our witness at any time. Very well. Please bring forth your witness at this time, then. What Mr. Edgeworth said kind of worries me. What does he mean by the brutal truth? Here we go. Now let's proceed with the testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, please go right ahead. Thank you, Your Honor. The prosecution summons the woman who saw the events that day with her very own eyes. This is it, Mia. The battle begins here. Bum, bum, bum. Witness, what is your name and occupation? Here she is. Long time no see, Dahlia. Everyone is so silent that I can hear their hearts going pitter-patter. Now, who could this be? I've never seen this woman before in my life. Oh. When I look at you, how can I put it? You look as scrumptious as a double-double and a dozen donut holes. Objection. Weird. Just a weird thing to say. Technically, first time we see. You're right. This is before the other trial that we played. I feel like I want to hurry up and hand down a verdict just to have a bite. Brother, get a grip, man. Don't jump to conclusions, press. Maybe she's not who we think. Maybe. Let's see. Hey, not so fast. As I said before, this witness is very sensitive and delicate. No, she's not. We'll let it play out. Don't be fooled, y'all. I would ask the court to please exercise care when addressing her. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. You are a true gentleman. Miss Faye, you could learn a lot from this man. If he's such a gentleman, he sure doesn't act like one to me. This game's writing makes me want to Falcon Punch Takami. Just sometimes. Just occasionally. Sir? Yes, my dear. This is my first time, so I'm sure I'll make a lot of mistakes. Anyway, I just wanted to say I'm sorry for all the trouble I might cause. What trouble are you causing? You're up there telling the truth, right? There's no trouble to be caused. You're gonna tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. There's no trouble there. Not at all. It's no trouble at all. Now then, may we please have your name and occupation? My name is Melissa Foster. Okay, sure it is. I'm a college student, a freshman in the literature department. You were on the scene when the unfortunate event occurred, correct? And you were the one who took this photo? Is that accurate? Ah! How can you be so mean? Now see here! What are you doing shoving that in her face like that? Huh? It's just a photograph. It's not like it's something dangerous. Next time, I will be forced to penalize you. I don't like the turn this has taken. Is she staring at me? And you would be? Huh? I'm the defense attorney. My name's Mia Fey. I see. So you are... Now then, young lady, could you please give us your testimony? Yes, Your Honor. I'll do my best. Interesting. What's going on here? The witness's photograph. I was using my camera to take some pictures of wild flowers. Then I noticed there were two people standing up on the suspension bridge. Suddenly, they just started fighting. That's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. And right after that, I called the police. I just saw your avatar's eyes go blank. Just a thought, but she may not be Melissa. No, you're kidding. No, we actually have met this character already. But this is a flashback. But since you don't know, I will keep spoilers to a minimum. But there might be some stuff I have to explain. I believe the map would be of help here. I was standing right over here. I was standing in a beautiful field surrounded by tall cliffs. So you took the photo from that location, eh? I brought the camera I was using at the time, just like Mr. Edgeworth asked me to. Ho ho! What a cute camera, just like its owner. Your Honor, get a grip. Camera added to the court record. Melissa Foster took the witness's photo with this, a small but powerful model. Okay. We have the dramatic irony that we know it's Dahlia, which makes that one note we have very suspicious. I know. Ooh, I have to know. And I think her name's Dahlia Hawthorne, which is the same last name as the victim. Which I just have so many questions. All right then, Ms. Faye. Time for your cross-examination. But I warn you, make the witness cry again, and you'll feel the wrath of my gavel. The witness's photograph. I was just using my camera to take some pictures of wildflowers. Did you say wildflowers? The mountain is famous for its beautiful spring flowers. But it's only February. Well, I couldn't wait for spring to come. I know just how you feel. It's just like when I first started growing this glorious beard of mine. I just couldn't wait, so I wore a dyed blonde Santa beard until mine grew in properly. Would you mind if we got back to the facts of the case, Your Honor? Then I noticed there were two people standing up on the suspension bridge. Was there anything strange about the two of them? I'm a bad girl. I know I am. It looked like they were having a really serious conversation up there, so I decided to watch them like some kind of peeping Tom. Not at all. Everyone's like that. I love watching other people fight too. In fact, I can't get enough of it. Actually, that's why I took this job in the first place. Happy Pride to the Canadian judge, and I will not elaborate any further. Huh? Am I missing something? Too much info, Your Honor. It is a little bit too much. In any case, it's perfectly natural for you to have kept watching them. Especially dressed as they were. I will say, if I saw two people fighting, and one of them looks like this, yeah, I'm probably paying attention and probably calling the police. Well, anyway, I was watching them very closely. Suddenly, they just started fighting. Hold it. Do you have any idea what they were fighting about? No, I have no idea. Why do you ask? Oh, I just thought that maybe you overheard what they said. Oh? I would never eavesdrop. Oh, please. I've got more class than that. Oh, please. That's right, Miss Faye. Don't drag the witness down to your level. Okay. That's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. So she has class not to eavesdrop, but she's going to take a picture of their argument. Real convincing, Melissa. Such a crybaby, right? Oh my gosh. It's such an act. Rip Dahlia, you would have loved posting strangers on TikTok without their consent. Dahlia would have gotten the, what are they? The meta glasses. She would have got the meta AI glasses. Why'd you take a photo? Great question. Well, the two of them were really going at it. Ever since I was a little girl, I always wanted to be a news reporter. I guess that part of me just kind of took over. That is so weird. She would use the meta glasses. Smells like a lie to me. No kidding. I understand. Sure you do. Even now, I can't completely abandon my boyhood dreams. I still use my grandson to test my comedy routines on. So we wanted to be a comedian, huh? Not that it has any bearing on this. All I could do was use my camera, so I took the photo of the crucial moment and gave it to the police. Well, that's good. And right after that, I called the police. Hold it! You called the police? Yes, because it looked to me like the murderer was going to try to escape. We were already moving before the call even came in. Thanks to the victim's note, we had already started our operation. That was certainly tough luck for the criminal, eh? If Terry Falls isn't the criminal, then there must be something strange in that girl's testimony. Be careful, kitten. That girl has the judge wrapped right around her little finger. You're gonna have a tough time poking holes in that testimony of hers. You're gonna have to come up with something real good, Mia. Okay. Let's see this new evidence that we got. Melissa Foster took the witness's photo with this, a small but powerful model. Then I noticed there were two people standing up on the suspension bridge and they started fighting. That's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment, and right after that, I called the police. 4:30 p.m. at that bridge. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. Her location seems correct. So what she's saying is that she was standing here, the killer was standing here, and Hawthorne was standing here. If that's the case, she couldn't have been pushed in the back, but we don't have her saying that. What's the point of giving us this camera? Right after that, I called the police. That's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. Melissa Foster took the witness's photo with this. They just started fighting. Then I noticed there were two people standing up on this. Okay, I was using my camera to take some pictures of wildflowers. I noticed there were two people standing up on the suspension bridge. Stabbed with a knife in the back. Suddenly they just started fighting. That's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. I swear you can't take that good of a photo while being rushed. I know, plus it looks like this thing's on a dang tripod, dude. Who brings a tripod to take pictures of flowers? Am I crazy? Right after that, I called the police. So that would have been... But Edgeworth already said that they were already on it, but he confirmed that she did call the police. I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. Took the photo that shows the crucial moment. Do. Worn by the victim. Oh, I'm so... Okay. I was using my camera to take some pictures of wildflowers. Then I noticed there were two people standing up on the suspension bridge. They just started fighting. I feel like that note has info. Just me, though. You think so? This note... At that bridge, wear white scarf for identification. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. It looked like they were having a really serious conversation up there, so I decided to watch them. The judge says things that are just completely nonsensical, especially dressed as they were. I was watching them very closely, and they just started fighting. Do you have any idea what they were fighting about? She says, no. She says, I don't eavesdrop. Okay. That's when I hurried and took the photo. Why did you take a photo? I understand completely. Of course you do. All I could do was use my camera, so I took the photo of the crucial moment and gave it to the police. And right after that, I called them. You called the police. It looked like the murderer was going to try to escape. We were already moving before the call came in. Thanks to the victim's note, we had already started our operation. Certainly tough luck. Then there must be something strange in that girl's testimony. Man, Diego wasn't kidding. Was that his name, Diego? He was not kidding. This is a hard one to pick apart. You said earlier she's Dahlia, so it feels suspicious to me. Oh, for sure. For sure. Like, and I think they share the same last name. I was using my camera to take some pictures of wildflowers. I noticed there were 2 people standing up on the suspension bridge. Hang on. 5 yards. You can't see it, but I've got my fingers on my monitor. I want to see how many. 5 yards is this much. And so if she's standing here, that's 5 yards, 10 yards, 15 yards, 20 yards away. Okay. You're not going to hear their argument if you're 20 yards away necessarily. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth. I wish that we knew her name was Dahlia right now because we could present that. I noticed there were 2 people standing up on the suspension bridge, and suddenly they just started fighting. That's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment, and right after that, I called the police. Maybe bring it up anyway might cause some sort of reaction. I could. The problem is, if you present wrong evidence, you have this health bar here. And I guess it doesn't really matter because I just save scum, which I should probably do now, honestly, so that I can just go back and not have to replay parts. That's when I hurried and took the photo, and right after that, I called the police. That's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. Melissa Foster took the witness's photo with this, a small but powerful moment. Alright. I was using my camera to take some pictures of wildflowers. Then I noticed there were 2 people standing up on the suspension. Oh, wait, hang on. Did you say wildflowers? It's only February. Judge, shut up. Would you mind if we got back? Okay, I thought maybe she was going to say something about carrying her camera around, and that camera's on a tripod, so I was hoping to get a contradiction there. Then I noticed there were 2 people standing up on the suspension bridge. I mean, dead to rights on that one, Melissa. You're dang right there. There are 2 people on that bridge. And they just started fighting. That's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. And right after that, I called the police. Fighting physically or verbally? That's a good question. I'm going to assume she means verbally, because I think she said she wasn't listening to what they were fighting about. Stabbed with a knife in the back. Bridge located 40 feet above Eagle River. Wait! Hang on. How far? Okay, wait. How high is... Okay. How high is this Because if this is 40 feet above, and she was standing where? Here? Wouldn't this be in the way? No, I might be grasping at straws. They don't seem close enough during the photo to be physical. That's a good point. Oh, I feel like I'm on to something, but like I don't know what I'm on to, if that makes sense. I don't know. I wish that she would say where she was standing again, but I don't. Maybe she does. I don't think she does though. Suddenly, I noticed two people standing up on the suspension bridge, and they just started fighting. That's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. I'm gonna say I don't think she could take the photo. If this is 40 feet above the river, the problem is the photo that she takes from supposedly like here is not this one. So many photos, is dead on. She's not looking up at them. Now, I don't know what the actual height is of any of this. But really? I feel like if she was here, taking the photo, this would get in the way somehow. Okay, I might be onto something here. That's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. I'm gonna object with this. The cliff is shown? I'll be damned. I'll be damned, Hollow, it is. Unlucky. I deserve this penalty, Your Honor. I'll wear that one. Did I just save this? I think I did. I think I messed up. Oops. I save scummed wrong. Oh, we're on our last leg. That's okay. That's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the... Okay, saving here. Well, we know it's not that. And right after that, I called the police. Suddenly, they just started fighting. Okay. Wait, it was pouring out. What is this girl doing taking pictures of the wildflowers in the rain? I was using my camera to take pictures of some wildflowers. Suddenly, I just hold it. Do you have any idea about what they were fighting about? No, I have no idea. Why do you ask? I thought maybe you'd overheard what they said. I would never, ever eavesdrop. That's when I heard. I wouldn't eavesdrop, but I would take the photo that shows the crucial moment. I mean, I would argue that this doesn't really show the crucial moment. It just kind of shows them standing there. I mean, all this proves is that they were on the bridge. I don't know, the crucial moment? Oh, nice. Nice. It was that simple. I was distracted. Did I miss something? No, I got this right on my first try, actually. Welcome back. You didn't miss anything. First try. Pretty cool, huh? When you said you took a photo of the crucial moment, is this what you meant? All I can see in this photo are two people facing each other. You testified that you saw the two of them starting to fight. Normally, that's the kind of thing we would refer to as a crucial moment. Why haven't you presented a photo like that? Oh my god, wait. Oh, I kind of lucked into this one. Well, you see, I didn't think that would actually work. I thought that was a stretch. The photo we presented was the only one there was. But if you really wanted to capture the crucial moment, then what happened next? You must have taken a photo of it. No! My apologies, young lady. Oh, I realize now why I had the, wrong... Volume's good, right? Volume's fine. My apologies, young lady, but Ms. Faye's assertion is not without a certain amount of merit. He can certainly downplay a situation, can't he? Volume's good? Okay, cool. I'm sorry. I used it all up. The film, I mean. You ran out of film? This photo was the last one. It's really... Unfortunately, that is the truth. I personally examined all of the photographs she took that day. All the other photos are of the witness herself playing among the wildflowers. The witness herself? Then who took the photos? Well, you see, my camera has a timer feature built into it. So you took photos of yourself? I remember taking some photos of myself once too. Not now, Your Honor. Don't care. Please, no details. It seems that Ms. Fay's assertion was not so decisive after all. Wait, just a minute. Well, if she had no film left, she couldn't very well take more pictures, eh? Ms. Foster, perhaps then you could tell us about a different sort of photo. Photos of the incident that you took with your very own eyes. Mr. Edgeworth, you're quite the poet. Eye roll. Can you see if I roll my eyes here? I don't know if you can see it. I don't know how. I doubt my tracking's that good. Very well then. Let's get back to the cross-examination. Let's hear your thoughts on the fight that you witnessed. Yes, Mr. Judge. Boy, this guy is really a sucker for sweet talk. Ha! It looks like the other kitten in the room is the one that's getting all the attention. Stop saying weird things. Yeah, it's sickening. I was using my camera to take some pictures of wildflowers. Then I noticed there were two people standing on the bridge. The victim turned around and tried to run away, but she only got about 10 yards before she was stabbed in the back. I hate to break it to ya. She ain't running anywhere, dude. But I'll press. The victim, why do you think she tried to run away? With her police training, she certainly knew better than to turn her back on a criminal. That's a really good point. Run to where? That's what I'm saying. This was a large, powerful man with a knife. If it had been a quaggy woman like you, I'm sure she would have acted differently. Excuse you? Quaggy? Like you? If it had been me, I probably would have jumped into the river. From 40 feet up, huh? Alright. I've heard that Diego's dialogue is mistranslated, but I don't speak Japanese, so I've never been able to actually understand the differences. I'm gonna take a look. I doubt that my Japanese is good enough to really be able to translate it. But I'd be interested. There's still something wrong with this testimony. She's only got about 10 yards before she was stabbed in the back. Hold it! So you're saying Sergeant Hawthorne wasn't able to get away from him? Well, it's a narrow bridge, and it was swaying back and forth. If you ask me, both of them were in danger of falling off. I only wish I could have done something to help her. That seems to make sense. I wonder about that. Something seems kind of off. Ha! Does it now? You have a good sixth sense. When you feel that something's off, that's when you need to figure out the why. If Terry Falls isn't the criminal, then there must be something strange in that girl's testimony. And I know what it is. The victim turned around and tried to run away, but she only got about 10 yards before she was stabbed in the back. Well, good thing we have this handy-dandy little 5 yards here. So if the victim's here, 5 yards. If she ran about 10 yards, I mean, that would put her well into Eagle River, would it not? I've never watched The Sixth Sense. I watched it when I was kind of young. Great movie, from what I remember. I should give it a rewatch. I remember really liking it. She only got about 10 yards before she was stabbed in the back. Ms. Melissa, I don't even remember what your last name was. Holy shit. Witness, your testimony is a joke. Huh? What? But I just... Ms. Fay, I thought I warned you not to make the witness cry. one short testimony and 2 bad contradictions. There's no possible excuse. You say there were 2 contradictions? It's simple. Just take a look at the diagram of the area. According to her testimony, the 2 of them were in the middle of the bridge. But if they were, and the victim had turned around and tried to run, well, she would have hit a dead end. You said 10 yards, but she couldn't have even ran 5. Because Dusky Bridge is collapsed on that side. Got her! I love Mia being a bit mean. Me too. She's so cool. What does all this mean? God, alright, let me spell it out for you, dude. It's very simple, Your Honor. This charming little witness told a charming little lie. That's all there is to it. This beautiful young lady has been, gasp, lying to the court? Objection! Just a moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth? Your Honor, allow me to personally apologize for the confusion. What do you mean? There is one major mistake in this diagram. Oh, jeez, here we go. What did you say? What are you referring to? It's all because this diagram was made after the incident occurred. It's a very old bridge. We couldn't find any official blueprints of it. So you're saying... I'm saying that even though this bridge is currently in disrepair, there's no evidence that can prove that the bridge was broken during the incident. Oh, Miles, get a grip. That's ridiculous. You can't actually tell the condition of the bridge from this photo. I mean, that part's true. I apologize to the court for not being more clear when I presented the evidence. That guy's good. What do you mean? He planned it from the beginning. He's a genius, all right. That diagram of the bridge was his insurance policy. What? That coward. Well, Miss Fay, it seems you've once again made a reckless accusation. I'm sorry. I should have been more careful myself. No, it wasn't your fault at all. Now then, shall we go on with the trial? I'd like to establish, once and for all, what it was that the witness actually saw. Indeed. All right, young lady. May I ask you to please proceed with your testimony? But it's so hard to go on. We're all on your side, Miss Foster. Don't speak for me. I'm the only one not brainwashed in this courtroom right now. There's no need to worry. Just tell us what you saw. Yes, sir. Running from the crime. After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. Stabbed her in the back, picked her up in his arms, then he carried her over to the car. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. I'm sorry, I'm only supposed to talk about what I saw. Witnessing such violence must have been difficult. Well, won't be your last time. Yes, sir. I'm still shaken up. If he accepts this testimony as it is, we're finished. Don't say that. Oh well, maybe I'll stop off at my favorite cafe on the way home. They make a really great mocha latte, or mocha latte. Mocha latte. This trial isn't over yet. Ha! That's what I like to hear. All right, Miss Fay. Your cross-examination, if you please. The contradiction is staring you right in the face, Mia. Go on the attack. Running from the crime. After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. Are you saying that the victim didn't fall down on the bridge? Actually, maybe she did after all. Of course she didn't fall down on the bridge. If she had fallen down, this photo wouldn't make any sense. If that was the case, her coat would have been all muddy. If you don't mind, I was asking the witness. No need to be so rude. Well, young lady. Of course she didn't fall down. The man in the prison uniform grabbed her before she could. Ha! We're one step too slow. And then, what did the defendant do after that? Then he carried her over to the car. You personally witnessed this? Yes. Did anything strange happen when he did that? Well, I don't know if you'd call it strange or not, but that's when the victim's scarf fell off. You mean this scarf? Her words match what we found at the scene. I don't see any problem. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. You mean the defendant carried the body all by himself? Yes. Considering the size of the defendant, I don't think it would be difficult. Yes, but let's remember they're on a narrow bridge that was ready to collapse, and he's got a gigantic ball and chain strapped to him. Is it even possible for him to have carried a dead body on a bridge like that? Well, the fact of the matter is that he did. That kind of talk is just silly. Why did he get so emotional all of a sudden? Miss Faye, if you think there's some other possibility, please share it with the rest of us. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. Didn't they say in the beginning of the trial, not only that this Eagle River is 40 feet down, but that the current is so bad that if the body washes up, that, like, they don't have a chance at finding it? Isn't that a thing that they said in the beginning? Did I make this up in my head? He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. Why do you say that? It's already a broken down bridge hidden away in the mountains. Doing anything more to hide the corpse would be going overboard, wouldn't it? Yes, but that mountain is famous among hikers. A surprising number of people go up there. But it's February, right? I think you're the only one there in the February rain, Miss Melissa. There's also a small temple and a channeling dojo there. You know those monks. They just love cold, isolated places. I think the witness is trying to say that the corpse could have been found at any time. Besides, the witness is merely reporting what she witnessed with her own eyes. They did say that. Okay, so I'm not crazy. I'm only supposed to talk about what I saw, sorry. And you're absolutely certain that it was my client who was carrying the body. Well, he was wearing a prisoner's uniform, but as for his face... So you're saying you didn't get a clear look at his face? They were far away and it was raining. I thought I was only supposed to say exactly what I saw. Excellent! You're a remarkably honest young woman. Oh, please. Something about this testimony is bothering me, but what? Hey, kitten. Have you ever put salt in your coffee? No. Why would I? Why not? That's weird coming from... Huh? The coffee guy puts salt in his coffee. I can't say I've tried it, but maybe I'm the one missing out. It may actually go better with coffee than sugar, right? No. Listen, my point is, if you're not sure, you might as well add a ton of salt to it. It might bring out the rust in something, like a piece of evidence. He's right, Mia. Go present something. You've got nothing to lose. By the way, I wouldn't put salt in my coffee. The two don't go well after all. Thanks, Armando. Thank you very much. Okay. He stabbed her in the back. He quickly picked her up in his arms, and he carried her over to the car. He's talking crazy. He's talking insano style. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. Yeah, except that... Here? Melissa? There's like a big, gigantic, hard current river at the bottom. Throw it off, right? Since we're on our last lifeline here, I'll save, but I'm fairly confident in this one. He couldn't just leave the body on the top of the bridge. I mean, why not? Well, unfortunately for us. Load. Alright, did I present it the wrong one? I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. The body would rise to the top of the water. I mean, you're right. You're right, but I thought that they had said that the currents were so strong that you couldn't find the body. Maybe I'm getting hung up on the wrong thing. Yeah. After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. This guy's strength, if this is all true, this guy's strength is unbelievable. They did say that. Okay, I'm not crazy. Then he carried her over to the car. died from blood loss. But if she died from blood loss, there'd certainly be a trail of blood. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. How do you carry both the ball and a body, right? This guy's strong as hell. I'm sorry, I'm only supposed to talk about what I saw. You didn't... Well, you saw it, but I think you saw something else. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. Only supposed to what I saw. Okay. After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. Do we have any evidence that says otherwise? No. A photo of the trunk, worn by the victim at the time of the incident. Seems to have been taken by the witness. Has a timer function. Then he carried her over to the car. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. Have we checked profiles in a while? No, we haven't. Terry Falls, 25, sentenced to death 5 years ago. Police officer and the victim, the key witness in the case against Falls 5 years ago. A hotshot lawyer. A bit smug, I'd say a lot smug. Melissa Foster. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. Then he carried her over to the car. Okay, stabbed with a knife in the back. Died from blood loss between 4 and 5 p.m. After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. How'd he stab her in the back, Dahlia? Oh, can I just present that? After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. I mean, maybe this is where we present it. Hey, man, I don't think that he could have stabbed her in the back. What a blunder. What a whiff. Sorry. Load. I'm afraid I'm going to soft lock myself. That's why I never let it get to the last health bar. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. I'm only supposed to talk about what I saw. Well, you're talking about a whole lot more. Then he carried her over to the car. Okay, then he carried her over to the car. My only thinking would be, if she is trickling blood, you can always make multiple saves. I usually do, but I forgot to this time. And so now, oh, I guess I could still do it. You're right. That's a good idea, just so that I don't mess this up again. Then he carried her over to the car. If he carried her over to the car, fresh from a blood wound, it would leave a big trail of blood. And then that's not good enough. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, let's do this again here. Are you saying that the victim didn't fall down on the bridge? So she's saying that the victim didn't fall down. Oh, but she's saying that the scarf came off when he was carrying her, I think, right? If she had fallen down, this photo wouldn't make any sense. If that was the case, her coat would have been all muddy. If you don't mind, I was asking the witness. Of course, she didn't fall down. The man in the prison uniform grabbed her before she could. Any evidence that proves that she did fall down? No. I don't think so. I don't think so. Unless she's saying that this is when the scarf falls off. You personally witnessed that. Yes. Did anything strange happen when he did that? Well, I don't know if you'd call it strange or not, but that's when the victim's scarf fell off. You mean this scarf? Her words match what we found at the scene. I don't see any problem. So that is when the scarf fell off, when he stabbed her and picked her up? Okay. I suppose that the only way we can make sure the body stayed hidden. You mean the defendant carried the body all by himself? Considering the size of the defendant, I don't think it would be difficult. Let's remember they were on a narrow bridge that was ready to collapse. Is it even possible for him to have carried a dead body on a bridge like that? The fact of the matter is that he did. Why did he get so emotional all of a sudden? She was pushed on the ground on her stomach before she was stabbed. So she did fall onto the ground. Well, I think that that was the original testimony, but I think we proved that wrong with the photo, right? Because she wasn't dirty on the front of her jacket, so I think we determined that she didn't fall on her stomach at least. She could have fallen on her back. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. Why do you say that? It's already a broken down bridge. Doing anything more to hide the corpse would be going overboard. But it's February and it was raining that day. There's also a small temple. They just love cold places. The witness is merely reporting what she witnessed with her own eyes. I'm only supposed to talk about what I saw. And you're absolutely certain it was my client who was carrying the body. He was wearing a prisoner's uniform, but as for his face, they were far away and it was raining. I thought I was only supposed to say exactly what I saw. Far away, raining. Something about this testimony is bothering me, but what? It may actually go better with sugar. My point is, if you're not sure, you might as well add a ton of salt to it. It might bring out the rust in something, like a piece of evidence. He's right. Go present something. You've got nothing to lose. After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. How did he stab her in the back? It doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. Stabbed with a knife in the back. Picked her up in his arms. Then he carried her over to the car. There's just no blood. There's no blood anywhere. Worn by the victim at the time of the incident, found on Dusky Bridge. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. Well, he didn't do a good job of hiding it. Because they found him right away. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. But he really, like, could. He could have just dumped it into the water. I'm sorry, I'm only supposed to talk about what I saw. Can I object to this? I'm only supposed to talk about what I saw. Did you present anything to represent the water? Can I do that? I presented this. They didn't like this. This wasn't good enough. Wait. Did she know about the scarf? Did she know that she wasn't in the courtroom when we talked about this photo and the scarf not being on her, right? She wasn't in the courtroom when we talked about that. Maybe the other photo, or maybe you were on the wrong statement. This game's picky. That is true. That is true. I might have to throw it at the wall a couple more times. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try this though, real quick. No, because I didn't think that she was in the courtroom when we talked about the scarf. So I was like, well, how would she know? I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. Is the scarf relevant right now? It would just prove that she didn't know what she saw. Right? Because she brings it up here. Right? So check it out. Personally witnessed it. Yes. Did anything strange happen when he did that? Well, I don't know if you'd call it strange or not, but that's when the victim's scarf fell off. And he goes, you mean this scarf? Her words match what we found at the scene. I don't see any problem. Then he carried her over to the car. I'm going to try it here. No. Your Honor. Man, they are starting this case out with a doozy. Or this chapter, I should say. It looks like there's going to be multiple cases. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. I'm only supposed... Maybe I can present it here. I'm only supposed to talk about what I saw. Maybe here? Dang, bro. They've got me. They fucking got me. Okay. Pretty sure you had the right answer before, but the game's being picky. You think so? Okay. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. We'll try it here. Because he definitely could put it here. Yeah. What? Am I... Alright, I'm going to have to go watch the VOD. I really thought I put this on there. I really thought I presented this already. I really thought I presented this already. I swear I did. Maybe you had to finish the whole testimony first and gotten that little snippet of dialogue about salt in the coffee or something. Probably presented it on a similar statement. Maybe that's it too. I'm very interested. I'm going to have to go back and watch this. I swear I presented this. Maybe not. Maybe not. We'll find out. However, the idea of moving the body for that purpose is clearly odd. There's a much easier way to make sure the body wasn't found. Oh, I feel so validated right now, though. Well, what is it? This game does stuff like that every once in a while? That's fine. We got there. Take another look at the map of the area, and you'll see how. There's a river right below that bridge. Earlier, Mr. Edgeworth pointed out something interesting about the river. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in there are never recovered. In the kidnapping case 5 years ago, the victim's body was carried away and never found. If 10 murders were to occur at that same spot above the Eagle River, you can bet your boots that every other killer would have tossed the body in the water. Order! Order! Who is getting serious now? I'm not sure if I care for the way you put that, Ms. Faye. I don't care what you care for. But I must admit, it does seem odd not to have thrown the body into the river. Well, Mr. Edgeworth. How sad. Perhaps Ms. Faye would do well to try taking a dip in the river herself. Excuse me? After all, you claim to be such an expert in the ways of nature. What are you talking about? My point is that no matter how odd you may find the killer's method of body disposal, the fact is that this is what the killer did. None of your arguments have anything to do with what the witness saw. Quite true. Miss Faye, it seems that your assertion is without merit after all. But what the witness claims to have seen is completely ridiculous. Surely you can't deny that the body was found in the trunk of the car. That's certainly consistent with what the witness has told us. Please, witness, go on with your testimony. All you have to do is tell us only what you saw. Otherwise, the mean lady might yell at you again. He's talking about me? I'll do my best. After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. Then he carried her over to the car. The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body there. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. Oh, here we go. The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. What did the man do then? Well, naturally, he got in the car and was about to flee. That's when I came to my senses. I said to myself, you have to call the police. And so that's when you called them. You're sure that you saw all of that with your own eyes? I'm 100% certain. The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. I mean, that is consistent with what we see here. I'm going to press one more time on this, though. I feel like I missed something. What did the man do then? Naturally, he got in the car and was about to flee. I said to myself, I have to call the police. You're sure that you saw all of that with your own eyes? Yes, I'm sure. Not possible. Because there is a big cliff here. And if she was standing right here, there is no way that she could have seen it. Oh, hang on. Just to be safe, because this game seems to be a little picky. Objection. There we go. Well, Miss Foster, looks like you've done it this time. Done what? Made a crucial mistake. Like what, Miss Faye? The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. You're saying you saw that, right? With your very own eyes? Yes, and? It's simple, Miss Foster. Take a look at the diagram. The place you claim to have taken the photo from that day is here. Do you see what I mean? Even if you tried to see the car, this outcropping of rock is directly in the way. That's right, Miss Foster. From where you were standing, you could not have possibly seen the killer's car. Objection! I admit that the diagram shows a large outcropping of rock. However, it isn't so tall that it would stop her from seeing the car. That's right. It's not high at all. I was able to see the car just fine. I'm so sorry, but that just doesn't wash. I believe it was the witness who presented this as evidence to the court, yes? This is the location that the photo was taken from. Your own photo tells the whole story. You can clearly see the left side of the bridge, but the outcropping that is being referred to is really more like a cliff. Your view should have been completely cut off by this cliff, but still you claim to have been able to see the killer's car. Boom! Order! Order in the court! What is the meaning of all this ballyhoo? Your Honor, don't jump to any hasty conclusions. The fact that the escapee fled in a stolen car was reported on the news. After witnessing a murder, I'm sure you can appreciate that the witness was very upset. She must have heard about the stolen car and convinced herself that she saw it. But she was repeatedly warned before starting her testimony. She was told to testify only about what she saw with her own eyes. Oh! Mr. Judge. What is it? I think I must have remembered things wrong. Hey, wait a minute. You can't just say that. Miss Faye, no one on the face of the planet is perfect. Yes, indeed. Quite true. You know what they say. To err is human, to forgive divine. I'm inclined to give the benefit of the doubt to our witness here. That's crazy. That's not fair. Ha! Save the tears for later, kitten. Mr. Armando, don't look back until the trial's over. Now's the time to go forward. But that wasn't fair. Okay, kitten, you need to relax. Then you need to remember. The other kitten's testimony. The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. So tell me, how did she know that? How did she know that he broke into the trunk? Well, Miss Foster, until you can explain how you knew that, you're going to have a lot of very suspicious people on the side of the courtroom. Well, witness, I'm certain that he broke into the trunk because there were marks left on the trunk lid. I'm certain they were scratch marks from when he broke into it. What? Let me see that photo. There are marks there. It's true. These certainly look like scratch marks around the keyhole. It's obvious that this trunk has been broken open. Well, Miss Fay, are you satisfied? The judge is on her side. I can't make any mistakes here. What she just said, there's a clear contradiction. I'll buy it. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Melissa Foster, it looks like you finally betrayed yourself. You said you were in a field taking photos of wildflowers, but even so, you knew about the scratches. The question is when? When did you get a chance to see those scratches? Finally. Got her. Ha! I'm getting pretty tired of waiting over here. Then perhaps it would be faster if Ms. Fay explained herself. Your Honor, there's only one possible explanation. The reason the witness had seen the scratches was she happened to be passing by, she put the corpse in herself, or she is the owner of the car. Maybe those scratches were in there before they broke in, because the stolen car actually belonged to her. That's why she knew about the scratches. Well, Mr. Edgeworth. Frankly, Your Honor, after hearing a pathetic response like that, I have to question whether or not such a pathetic lawyer should even exist. Did you hear that, Miss Fay? I believe Mr. Edgeworth just called you a knucklehead. Well, that's not the worst thing I've been called in the courtroom, but I guess that was the wrong thing to pick, huh? I'm ridiculous? Me? But, no, hang on. I can defend this. I can defend. No. Everyone. Oh, no. I can. Okay, maybe I got a little too cocky. Hang on. I got a little too cocky, huh? I can admit that. You said you were. The question is, when did you get a chance to see those scratches? I guess in my head, I thought her and the murderer were in on it. That, looking at it now, it doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? Because in my head, I was like, okay, her and the real murderer are in it together. And they're colluding, and so he's using her car. Because for a second, I was like, well, she can't pick up the officer and put her in the trunk, but why not? Like, why couldn't she have done? Because in my head, I was like, oh, well, I mean, to be fair, she's like over here taking the picture. And then the camera's on a timer. The camera's on a timer. So she could set up the camera, take the picture. I see now. I see. That's why it literally says has a timer function. I see. She put the corpse in herself. There's only one way that the witness had the chance to see those scratches. Naturally, when she opened the trunk and stuffed the corpse in herself. The person who really hid the body in the trunk of that car was Melissa Foster. It was you that did it, wasn't it? That's ridiculous. I could never. It was the man in the prison garb. He's the one that... I don't think so, Miss Foster. If Mr. Falls had been the one that put the corpse in the trunk, he would have simply used the car key. There was no need to break it open. But he stole the car. He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light, which means that the key would have still been in the ignition. I see. Thank you for telling us about the scratches, Miss Foster. Without that, we never would have uncovered the truth. Then it couldn't have been Mr. Falls that put the body in the trunk. Objection! Preposterous. To even suggest that the witness put the body in there. If that were true, then how do you explain the photo that she took? The corpse could only have been put in the trunk when the incident occurred, and we already know that at the time she was taking photographs. Ha ha! Edgeworth, I've already thought of this. Finish this thing, Mia. On the contrary, I'm not so certain about that anymore, Mr. Edgeworth. There's no need to think too deeply about it. What I'm saying is the shutter for this may not have been pushed by Miss Foster herself. It has a timer function. Silly, silly Bratworth. You've got much to learn. Let's take another look at this camera and see what features it has, shall we? It has a timer built into it, even a mini tripod. Why? It's almost as if she had brought this camera just to take this picture. What are you trying to say then, Miss Fay? That when the crime occurred, Miss Foster wasn't in the field as she claimed? Well, if she really did use the camera's auto timer, then the answer is yes, she was somewhere else. Exactly. She was not in the field. Would the defense please explain further? Listen, this is a crucial point. Where was Ms. Foster when the incident occurred? In answering that question, we'll also make clear Ms. Foster's true identity. Well then, please answer this question. This is the true challenge coming up. Oh boy. Where was Melissa Foster when the incident on the bridge occurred? Okay. So she stabbed her in the... Okay. If she was stabbed in the back, I would put her here, right? But the problem is, that doesn't really cut it. Because of this here. So that she could be hiding in the bushes? Oh, yeah! Oh, no. Because the scarf is on the bridge. Broken bridge. So, yeah, so... You know, in my head, I was really trying to justify it. I was like, what if she threw the knife? But I don't think that that's it. If she's hiding here, then she could stab her as she goes back to the car. But then what happens to the scarf? So the other thing you could say is maybe Melissa was hiding in the trunk or in the car. Maybe she was hiding in the car. Ooh, this is interesting. Okay. So we got really two options that I'm thinking of. She was hiding in the brush here, or she was hiding in the actual car. Didn't Bratworth say the bridge may not be broken during the incident? Also a good point. Also a good point. And if he's right about that, then that does match up. Okay, because I would love to make Edgeworth eat his own words here. I don't know if this is the right answer. But it makes... If Edgeworth is really good at claim, in the trunk sounds silly, like surprise, you're right. I think it's this. I actually do. Naturally, the witness was standing right here. What do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? Before pointing out where the witness was standing, Ms. Fay should do something herself. She should figure out where she stands, if you catch my drift. Oh, don't worry. The drift was certainly caught. Whoa! Alright, we didn't like that one. We did not like that one, huh? I know the answer. Is it obvious? Am I overthinking it? I thought we were onto something there, random. I really did. Mostly, I think part of it was I just wanted to shove it in Edgeworth's face. It's not obvious, but sort of. She was not in the field. Would the defense please explain further? Please answer this question. Where was Melissa Foster when the incident occurred? Can I just put her right here as the killer? Like, can I just put her right here? The answer might be vaguely in another piece of evidence, but saying that might confuse you more. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh. Might be in another piece of evidence. I can't pull up the evidence right now. Can I just put her right in the killer spot? Is that crazy? Where was Melissa Foster? I'm going to try this. I don't think this will work. More pieces are clicking in my mind, but not in yours. Not in mine at all. Naturally, the witness... Oh. Uh-oh. Okay, not that one. Alright, let's look at our evidence then. It's vaguely in the evidence. Stabbed with a knife in the back. Died from blood loss. Not in mine either. I'm lost. Oh, I'm glad to know it's not just me. At that bridge, wear white scarf for identification. That's her in the trunk. Worn by the victim at the time of the incident, found at Dusky Bridge. Seems to have been taken by the witness. Oh man, okay. Where was Miss Foster during the incident? Okay. Then maybe in the shrubs. Right? She's in the shrubs. She's hiding. I don't know where else she could be. There's only so many places she could be. I don't think any of that evidence made it click for you. No. Is it profile? I always forget about the profiles. Alright, so the only other two that I'm thinking, if she's not... I mean, she wasn't here, obviously. This is where the camera was. She's here. Or she's here. Or she's in the car. It's like almost a sneak attack, right? This guy drives off, and then she jumps out and gets the victim. There were two pieces you scrolled through that I think could possibly apply. Wait, really? You think could possibly apply. Okay. Stabbed with a knife in the back. Died from blood loss between 4 and 5 p.m. Bridge located 40 feet above Eagle River. Falls. 4:30 p.m. at that bridge. Wear white scarf for identification. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. That's the car. Worn by the victim at the time of the incident. Found on Dusky Bridge. Seems to have been taken by the witness. This photo. What if she's just chilling in the background? Witness's photo. Melissa Foster took the witness's photo with this. Has a timer function. College student witnessed and photographed the incident on Dusky Bridge. The key witness in this case against Falls 5 years ago. Sentenced to death 5 years ago. Escaped from custody 2 days ago. She was somewhere else. She was not in the field. Would the defense please explain further? Where was Miss Foster when the incident occurred? In answering that question, we'll also make clear her true identity as Dahlia Hawthorne. So where was Melissa Foster? Have we said the car yet? You only have so many places you can click. the car? Or what if she's here? Now, I don't know how this would work. What if she's in the victim spot? Huh? And we have it all wrong because we have it all wrong because of the photograph. The photo was hard to see. So you might not even know that this was I think she's here. Come on. Come on. The witness was right here. But that's where the victim was standing. Aha. What's up, Setsuna? How's it going? Welcome in. Interesting. I can't say I understand it yet. I mean, it is the picture's hard to see. Order! Order! Ms. Fay, what on earth? Your Honor, if I may. If parting with the victim on the bridge, the defendant fled by car. But this would mean that there was no time to put the victim in the trunk. In other words, if someone put the body in the trunk, it could only have been before the defendant met the victim. So by the time the defendant had even gotten there, this is Melissa. You trust your defendant, don't you? I'm supposed to. That's my job. I'm supposed to trust him. How asinine. Of course Mr. Falls met with the victim. The only person with the opportunity to have put the victim in the trunk is the same man that killed her, Terry Falls. You still don't understand, do you, Mr. Edgeworth? By the time the witness's photo was taken, the victim was already dead. The person in the photo was not Valerie Hawthorne. What? I've never heard anything more ridiculous in my entire life. Give it a few years, and then let me know when there's this case about a circus going on, Edgeworth. Then you'll hear some really crazy stuff. Then who exactly is the victim in this photo? It's obvious, isn't it? It's your own witness. What? It's the only possible explanation. The woman that Mr. Falls met on the bridge that day was not Valerie Hawthorne. It was you, Melissa Foster. Me? Let's remember that it was rainy and foggy on the mountain that day. Mr. Falls himself believed that the woman in front of him was Valerie Hawthorne. That's funny because I kept saying, I was like, it doesn't look that foggy from the photo, but I'm glad that came into play. But the defendant knew Valerie Hawthorne very well. After all, she was the woman whose testimony helped get him convicted. But since then, my client has spent 5 hard years in a federal penitentiary. He couldn't remember exactly what she looked like anymore. Or just making this up as you go along. Where's your proof? I've got it all right here. This piece of evidence will blow this case right open. I'm sure it will. At the time of the incident, Mr. Falls had forgotten what Valerie Hawthorne looked like. Because she had to wear the white scarf for identification. Mr. Falls had forgotten the victim's fate. This was originally all pixelated, to be fair. Oh, yeah! I always forget about that. This was from, like, the Game Boy Advance. Be kind of fun to play on the Game Boy in the old pixelated art style. Mr. Falls had forgotten the victim's face. That's why he needed some piece of identification, namely this muddy scarf. It was Mr. Falls who requested that she wear this scarf to identify herself. That's already been proven by the note the victim left. In other words, as long as you were wearing a scarf, like he asked, anyone could have pretended to be Valerie Hawthorne. Well, What do you have to say to that, Melissa Foster? Oh. No. Oh my fucking gosh, she fucking did. You remember that vine? Miss Keisha. Gosh, that was when scrolling hit different, man. Where's Ms. Foster? She's collecting herself in the lobby. It's obvious that Melissa Foster did it. She hid the body in the trunk and disguised herself as the victim. She set up the camera to snap a fake photo of them together. The only question is, why did she do it? Isn't that obvious? She's the real culprit. Huh. Well, we'll have to wait for Ms. Foster to compose herself before we start again. Until then, this court is in recess. The defense and the prosecution are both to wait in their respective lobbies. Yes, Your Honor. Understood. Very well. This court is in recess. And so is this stream. That's all I got for you today. This was fun. I like when they throw me right into the case to start. I also really like playing as Mia. I think it's really fun. No, Judge, don't go to recess. I'm gonna be real. Recess or not, I was ending it there. I do have kind of a long day at work tomorrow. It's longer than my normal days, so I do have to get some good sleeping. Some good Z's I gotta catch tonight. But this was fun. This was really good. I like playing as Mia. I like when they make you play as other characters in any game, really. I think it's fun. Adds a little bit more depth to it. But that'll do it for this one. Thanks for hanging out, y'all. At times we were on fire. At times we were ice cold and being guided by nothing but vibes. But we got there in the end, and that's what matters. That's what matters. So that's where you've been. It's about to go down part 2. Can't wait to see you next time. Well, thanks for joining. Yeah, we will not have a super long break for the next one. I will say, and I don't want to, I feel like I always do this where I like say I'm going to do something and I can't. So don't quote me on this, but I do have something next week that's going to take me pretty much from Wednesday to Sunday. So I'm not going to be able to stream for the majority of next week. So I would like to do a Monday and Tuesday stream and maybe even a Sunday stream to try and get everything in. So I don't know exactly yet what the schedule for next week will look like, but there will be Ace Attorney on there. It'll just be early in the week because I can't stream later in the week. But I'll figure that all out in a couple of days. Alrighty. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Whether you're just waking up in the morning, stopping by on your lunch break, or settling in after dinner, thanks for hanging out, having a cup of coffee with me, and I will see ya in the next one. See ya!